Hey, folks, welcome to the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network podcast. I'm your host, Lewis Carlin. We're heard right here on the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. Thank you so much for joining me today. Very, very exciting news. We just hit 400 subscribers on our YouTube channel. So thank you very much for everyone that has subscribed to the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network YouTube channel. We have officially hit 400. Very excited that hit my goal. My goal is to hit 400 by the end of this week. It's Tuesday, and we did it. We hit 400. So I can't thank you enough for every single person that has subscribed to our YouTube channel. Again, thank you so much. I'm very grateful, very appreciative. Very happy we hit 400. And next goal is 500. Hopefully we can get there soon. Okay, let's get into it. Josh Alexander, X Division champion Josh Alexander will be making his New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong debut this Friday, June 18th, and I couldn't be more excited. I was saying that we see a lot of New Japan Pro Wrestling talent, Finjuice, El Phantasmo, Satoshi Kojima, showing up on Impact Wrestling, but we're not seeing enough Impact Wrestling stars showing up on a New Japan Pro Wrestling show. But that's changing. That's changing this Friday. Yes, we've had TJP has been on New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong. Chris Bay has been was in the New Japan Cup tournament, but now this is starting to get good because now the X Division champion, Impact Wrestling's X Division champion, the walking weapon, one of my personal favorites in the world right now, Josh Alexander, is going to be making his debut this Friday. New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong as he takes on Young Lion Alex Coughlin. It's going to be an outstanding match. So excited that Josh Alexander will be making his New Japan Pro Wrestling debut. I'm sure he's excited because I know when I've had him on my show, I've interviewed him a number of times. I know Japan was definitely a goal for his, and this is one step closer for Josh Alexander to head on over to Japan and compete for New Japan Pro Wrestling, but right now he's in the States, New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong, and I couldn't be more happy and more excited for Josh Alexander. I'm sure he's a lot more excited than I am because he's actually participating. But this is great stuff. If anyone deserves an opportunity like this, it's definitely Josh Alexander, and he's got a tough opponent ahead of him. Alex Coughlin is a tough young lion, and he's very, very talented, and I have no doubt that Alex Coughlin's going to be a star one day. But on June 18th, New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Ignition, Walking Weapon's going to get the win on that one. There's no doubt that that Josh Alexander will get the victory over Alex Coughlin. But very excited. I hope this is just the first. I hope this is the first of many, many appearances for Josh Alexander. Yes, I would like to see other talent come over from Impact Wrestling to New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong, but I would love to see Josh Alexander against Kevin Knight. I would love to see Josh Alexander against Clark Connors. I think would be a great match. I would love to see Josh Alexander go after the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight champion Tom Lawler. I think that would be a great match. You know, I was contemplating whether I should say this or not, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight title would be fantastic around the waist of Josh Alexander. And a lot of you look at some New Japan Pro Wrestling stars that have come over. Finjuice came in and they won the Impact Wrestling Tag Team Championship. Kenny Omega, not New Japan Pro Wrestling, but Kenny Omega from AEW came in to Impact Wrestling, won the Impact Wrestling World Title. Maybe it's time for an Impact Wrestling star to go to a promotion and win their title. Maybe it's time for Josh Alexander to head over there, have a couple of matches, and then challenge Tom Lawler, and then defeat Tom Lawler and become the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight Champion. How about that? I think that would be great. I think that title will look fantastic around his waist. And I would love to see Josh Alexander head on over to Japan as well to compete in Japan against Tetsuya Naito, against Tomohiro Ishii, against Minoru Suzuki. Josh Alexander can definitely hold his own against any of those guys out there, and he would have tremendous matches. And hopefully this is just, like I said earlier, the first step for Josh Alexander to get over to Japan and really show the talent that he has and the talent that he's had for a very long time. And like I said, he could go toe-to-toe with anybody right now in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I really hope he gets the opportunity to prove it. This is the first step. I hope it's the first step of many steps for Josh Alexander. He definitely deserves it, and I can't wait for this Friday when he takes on Alex Coughlin. I'm definitely going to be watching. If you can watch a New Japan Pro Wrestling World, if you don't subscribe, I definitely recommend that you subscribe to New Japan Pro Wrestling World. Great streaming service. It's like $9 a month, and it's very, very, very. It's a great service, and that's one way you can watch this match if you're a Josh Alexander fan. But actually, the whole show is going to be very good. The main event is Satoshi Kojima, who was recently in Impact Wrestling, taking on Joe Doring. Suffered a loss, taking on JR Kratos, which is going to be just a fantastic, hard-hitting match. And Fred Rosser, who just signed an exclusive deal with New Japan Pro Wrestling, teaming with AJ and Quest to take on Bateman and Barrett Brown. It's going to be another fantastic match there. So 3 great matches lined up for this week's edition of New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Ignition. And then on June 25th, I mentioned Tom Lawler, New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight Championship. Champion Tom Lawler defending the title against Carl Fredericks. And that is going to be an insanely incredible match. If you're not watching New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong, you have to start watching it. It's one of the best hours in professional wrestling today. Just a top-notch show, and such great talent there. Again, they signed Fred Rosser to an exclusive deal, which was just fantastic. Lots of potential there for Fred Rosser. He just came off a tremendous feud with Hikuleo, and that's another guy actually I would love to see Josh Alexander against. Hikuleo would be a great match as well. So there's a lot of potential great opponents for Josh Alexander. But don't miss it. If you have New Japan Pro Wrestling World, don't miss New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Ignition this Friday. It's going to be an absolute tremendous show. Okay, let's get into Kizuna Road, night two results. I'm not gonna run down the whole card, but I do want to talk about Kota Ibushi and Shingo Takagi finally getting in the ring together and giving us a taste of what we can expect when they go at it for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Shingo Takagi, just a absolutely phenomenal. I would say he's one of the best, if not the best wrestler in the world right now, the IWGP Heavyweight Champion. He just defeated Kazuchika Okada to win that belt, and he wants Kota Ibushi as his first opponent. The match hasn't been made yet, which is interesting, a little upsetting for me anyway, because I want that match to be made. But we got a little. I'm sure it's going to be made. But we got a little taste on what we will expect when Shingo Takagi defends the IWGP Heavyweight Championship against Kota Ibushi, as they went at it, and they had just a tremendous exchange between the two. It was the main event. The main event was Sanada, Bushi, Shingo Takagi, and Tetsuya Naito taking on Kota Ibushi, Masa Wato, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Hiroyoshi Tenzan. And it was a really good main event. Masa Wato was absolutely fantastic in this match. He really shined. This he did tap out to Sanada. So he did lose the match for his team, but he was just absolutely on fire in this match at some points during the match. He was just absolutely on fire, just very talented. He's really coming into his own, and I could definitely see him as a IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship challenger down the line. But it was a great main event. I absolutely loved Takagi and Ibushi having that exchange. It was like about 3 minutes. The exchange was about 3 minutes, but it was just fantastic, and it really got me pumped up for the upcoming main event, which hasn't been announced yet. I shouldn't say upcoming main event, upcoming title match, which hasn't been announced yet for any of the shows, but I'm sure they're going to announce it sooner or later. I know Kota Ibushi is suffering from a injured foot, which caused him to drop the title to Will Ospreay, and hopefully that foot is healing. I know he's not wrestling on every show; he's wrestling on every other show, I think, right now. So hopefully that foot is healing, and it's just about healed. I think maybe they're putting off the match until his foot heals. I really think that once he's 100%, if he's not already 100%, that the belt's going back on Kota Ibushi, because I don't think he was supposed to lose to Will Ospreay. I think he dropped the title, like I said, because he had the injured foot and he wasn't able to compete on Kota Ibushi level. So I think the belt's going back on Kota Ibushi, but I wouldn't be surprised if they leave it on Shingo Takagi as well. But whatever happens when they do compete. When they do meet in the ring, it's going to be an absolutely fantastic, outstanding, wonderful, spectacular match, and I cannot wait for that one. I cannot wait for that one. Running down the night 2 show, Toru Yano and Sho and Yo defeated Bullet Club, Jado, El Phantasmo, Taiji Ishimori. They're building towards Sho and Yo defending the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship against El Phantasmo and Taiji Ishimori. Hiroki Goto, Yoshihashi, Kazuchika Okada, Tomohiro Ishii defeated Gato, Dick Togo, Yujiro Takahashi, and Evil. The build there is for Goto, Hashi, and Ishii to defend the never openweight 6-man titles against Yujiro Takahashi, Evil, and Dick Togo. That match is next week. And the Sho and Yo IWGP Junior Heavyweight title match is next week as well. Kazuchika Okada, he pinned, I believe it was Gato. I believe he pinned Gato to win the match for his team. And as I said, the winner, the main event was Sanada, Bushi, Shingo Takagi, Tetsuya Naito defeated Kota Ibushi, Masa Wato, who again was just spectacular in this match, despite the fact he did tap out to Sanada, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Hiroyoshi Tenzan. So Los Ingobernables de Japan win that match. And there were 2 other matches on the show. Yuya Uemura and Yota Tsuji are running their gauntlet to prove that they belong against the big boys in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And this was the second night. And both, I think, are doing absolutely fantastic. Yuya Uemura on the first night took on Minoru Suzuki, and it was a very good match. It wasn't the match I was expecting. I thought Yuya Uemura was going to come out like a ball of fire, and we were going to get like a real banger of a match, because I know Uemura has been poking at Suzuki in past matches and past shows. But the match was very, very good. Uemura gave a great showing, but Yuya Uemura against Zack Sabre Jr., which was night 2, which was earlier today, was just spectacular. Just a absolutely wonderful match. Yuya Uemura really brought his A game in this match, and I thought he did much better against Zack Sabre Jr. against Suzuki. Maybe there was some intimidation there because it's Suzuki, but Yuya Uemura was just fantastic, and he almost pulled out a victory a few times, but we know that the Young Lions are not gonna, Yuya Uemura, Yota Tsuji, they're not gonna win any of these gauntlet matches. They're just proving that they belong, and they are proving that they do belong. I've been high on these Young Lions for a very long time, and they're getting to show just exactly how far they've come since they debuted. I think it was 2 years ago, and they are both going to be just big stars in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Yota Tsuji actually took on Tai Chi earlier today, which was a terrific match as well. Yota Tsuji took on Hiroshi Tanahashi yesterday, which was another great match. Both Young Lions bringing their A game, and the future is bright for these two for New Japan Pro Wrestling. I'm thinking after this gauntlet, either one or both are going to go on excursion, whether it's the UK, whether it's Mexico, whether it's the United States. But I think both are ready for excursion. They'll go out for about a year or so, and then they'll come back, and then they'll be big stars in New Japan Pro Wrestling. But absolutely loving the gauntlet. This is, for me, the gauntlet is the highlight of these shows. And tomorrow doesn't get any easier for the Young Lions, as Yuya Uemura takes on Hiroshi Tanahashi. And Yota Tsuji has the task of taking on Kazuchika Okada tomorrow. And this is I'm really curious to see how Yota Tsuji how he fares against Kazuchika Okada, as well as Uemura. I think they're both going to be just fantastic matches. Uemura against Tanahashi, and Tsuji against Okada. This it's going to be just crazy tomorrow, man. I can't wait for these two matches. Like I said, these are the highlight for me. I wake up early and just watch these two matches, and I get ready for work. Because I get something in my throat. I don't know what's going on. My throat's getting a little sore. Hopefully the water will help. Sorry about that. But yeah, like I said, this the Young Lions running the gauntlet is the highlight of the whole Kizuna Road shows for me. I know Kota Ibushi, I believe, is taking on Yota Tsuji. He's not taking on both. I don't think. I think he's taking on. I believe it's Yota Tsuji next week. Kota Ibushi will be again, and I know Taichi and Zack Sabre Jr. Will be opponents for them again. But this is great stuff, man. Like I said, these two guys are going to be they're going to be major players in New Japan Pro Wrestling once their excursion is over. I think they need to get some new young lions though into New Japan. I know we have Gabriel Kidd. I'm sure there was another one. I can't remember his name. Who his debut match he took on Yuya Uemura, but I think 5 seconds in he popped his shoulder or popped his elbow. And dislocated his elbow, and he's been out since. And I'm sure we're going to see the debuts of some new young lions coming up hopefully in the next couple of months. But Uemura and Tsuji are definitely ready, and they're definitely ready for excursion. And I'm going to say it again: these two are going to be major players in the future of New Japan Pro Wrestling. The future is bright for New Japan Pro Wrestling. And on that note, I'm going to say thank you very much for listening to me today. I'm Lewis Coughlin. This is the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network podcast. And until next time, thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye. Stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye-bye.